As good as the '87 Super Bowl championship team, do you think?
The Giants team now is probably better than that '86 team. They've got more weapons that they haven't even used yet. They've got guys coming out of the backfield. They're diversifying their offense. They've got little Dave Maggott, who's a threat to go all the way every time he touches the ball. Phil Simms really has a lot of weapons, but he doesn't go to all of those weapons. Rodney Hampton, a rookie out of the University of Georgia. This guy's a star waiting to just get on his throne as soon as O.J. Anderson get out of the way. O.J. can run the ball rather consistently. He's not as old as people probably think he is. And like I said, they've got a lot of weapons. Mark Ingram, Stephen Baker at wide receiver, Mark Bavaro, if he's healthy, he can get the job done. Defensively, they're playing probably much better defense now than they played in the '86 season. You wouldn't know it last week when they played against the Eagles.
You bring up the Eagles game again, and the one thing they didn't do then was run the ball and therefore time of possession. Why was that, and can they do it tonight?
Well, I think they can run the ball against the 49ers. Against the Eagles, those guys are just tough guys, and it was awfully difficult. Parcells got away from that running attack, and he chose to go to the passing attack, and it really backfired on the Giants last week.
All right, well, it's time for us to take a break, go and get that first injection of caffeine, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Make yourself comfortable on the veranda, auntie.
Comfortable?
Cake, auntie?
Didn't think you'd run to that sort of thing out here.
Try this, auntie. There you are.
I hope they're fresh.
I don't know why you put up with her. Well, you got to have something to keep the flies off your beer.
Australians wouldn't give a Castlemaine 4X for anything else.
Oh, 839 Chat Rap 900 100. Oh, 839 Chat Rap 900 100.
Karaoke party! What's karaoke? We give you superb backing music. You sing the songs like this. And this. You and your friends will have fun you wouldn't believe singing along to Karaoke Party. It's the sing-along sensation of the 90s. Imagine you're Elvis, the Beatles, or even Roy Orbison. 40 of the most popular karaoke tracks with full lyrics. Be a star with Karaoke Party. It's fun, it's wild. It's in your record shops now.
Before you go out, you must buy detergent and fabric softener.
Softener?
And don't forget my purse.
That's not enough. I'm dead. What's that? Bold Ultra All-in-One. Cleans. The softener in it. I've got enough. Thanks. But no thanks.
You made a good choice. It's all clean. I didn't even need a separate softener. Was it expensive?
Actually, it costs less than the auto.
Less? Brilliant. Then we'll be buying your Bold Ultra from now on, won't you?
Brilliant.
New Bold Ultra All-in-One. It's where the ultra-smart money goes.
Down at Pizza Hut, you can now get one of our exclusive medium feast pizzas for two for just $6.79. Choose either our meat feast pizza with 4 different kinds of meat, or our cheese feast pizza with our special blend of 3 cheeses piled high with any 2 toppings of your choice.
Here you are.
Whichever one you choose, it's good to know that the only thing we've reduced is the bill. Great feast pizzas for $6.79. At Pizza Hut, you've got it made.
This is rapport. Rapport aftershave. This could be forever.
taboo? Which one are you?
Welcome back, everybody. Throughout tonight's program, you'll notice that we'll be breaking from the action more than you're accustomed to. This is due to an American network friends trying to pay their contracts with the NFL. Please be assured that you will not miss any of the action due to these commercials. In fact, we'll be entertaining you as Gary will have highlights from yesterday's games, or when circumstances dictate, you will hear the pertinent input of Harry. Before getting back to tonight's showdown, some interesting news out of Tampa Bay. 2 weeks ago, after the Bucks had lost 6 games in a row, Ray Perkins was assured by team owner Hugh Culverhouse that his job was secure, even if he lost the remaining 6 games of the season. Perkins then made the big mistake of winning on Sunday, and today he was, of course, fired. I talked with Vinny Testaverde this weekend, and he is only one of many of the Bucks players that were glad to hear today's news, because Ray Perkins was not liked by his players down there in Tampa Bay. Harry, you played down.
Yeah. I played
not down in Tampa, but you played in Giants with Perkins when he was the head coach of the Giants. Did you like him?
I liked him personally because I knew what kind of person he was, but there are a lot of guys who did not like Ray Perkins, and when he left the Giants, there were a lot of happy faces around Giants Stadium.
There's a lot of happy faces down in Tampa Bay.
He's a very hard worker.
Back to tonight's game. The place is electric. We're seconds away from the kickoff. What is the feeling of the players on the sideline now? People who refer to this game as Super Bowl 24½. Is this comparable to the feeling you had perhaps in the '87 Super Bowl?
It's probably the same way because there's a lot of intensity in this game. I would venture to say that a lot of players did not get a whole lot of sleep last night because this game really has been pumped up, and rightfully so. You've got the best going against the best, and when you've got a nationwide, not just nationwide in the United States, but also back in Great Britain, when you've got an audience like that, you know, players know that they're on center stage and so many people are watching. It really comes from way down in here, and you'll see it as the game develops, how intense this game will be.
I can't go to the game without asking about LT. LT is my personal hero. Quickly, is he going to be the difference like he has been so often in the past in this game?
Kicks off. 49ers
well,
receive.
They've kicked off.
Dexter Carter, the Florida State rookie, from the goal line, brings it back out to the 22. And here are the 49ers. Those who follow this club every week say Montana is having his finest season. Paradoxically, he has already thrown more interceptions than in any full season of his career, 14. The supporting cast, Craig and Rathman, the running backs, Taylor and Rice, the wide receivers. Brent Jones is having a terrific year. Parrish and McIntyre, Sapolu, Barton, and Wallace, the interior linemen. First down from the 21. That's Brent Jones in motion. Roger Craig on a sweep, and nothing is there as Mark Collins, the cornerback, comes up to make the tackle, and he'll be a busy man tonight. He's going to see a lot of Jerry Rice. Here are the Giants now defensively. Dorsey, Howard, and Washington will also see a lot of Leonard Marshall. Cooks, Diassi, Pepper Johnson, and Taylor, the linebackers. Carl Banks has been activated. Collins and Walls are the corners. Jackson and Guyton are the safeties.
Already you're seeing more movement by Lawrence Taylor. Here he is on the bottom of the screen.
2nd and 8 as Montana on that short, tight roll hits Brent Jones at the 29-yard line, and that will set up a 3rd and 2. Greg Jackson with the stop.
And the Giants open with a nickel defense, which will challenge the 49ers' ability to run the football, and that is where they have been weak over the course of the year. Johnny Cooks, the linebacker, out of the lineup. They go with a 5th defensive back, Perry Williams, number 23, and Greg Jackson, number 47. The strong safety was a good blitz man, playing up tight like a linebacker.
You saw Bill Belichick, 3rd and a short 2 from the 29-yard line. Craig in motion. Montana, that 5-step drop, and then it's knocked away by Perry Williams. And so the Giants hold, and the 49ers force the punt.
Williams was the man who was inserted defensively by Bill Belichick, the defensive coordinator for the Giants, replacing the linebacker Johnny Cooks. He makes a big play. The receiver was open. That's Taylor, who was questionable a little bit because of a sore knee. The ball perhaps could have been led a little more, and that would have been a 1st down completion.
Dave Meggett second in the league in punt returns to Clarence Verdun of Indianapolis, averaging 12.5 a run back. And he'll be accepting the kick from the man who has the worst gross average and net average in the league. Barry Hilton not having a good season. Low snap. He scoops it up and gets it away. Meggett at the 32-yard line and gets tackled immediately. Moving downfield, Greg Cox, the former Giant, to tackle him immediately.
Dave Meggett makes a move to the right. Obviously, he should have made a move to the left. Misreading the blocking of the guys up front, but still a very successful opening series defensively for New York.
Here are the Giants now. Phil Simms with the highest pass rating in the league. Anderson and Carson start at the running back spot. You see Meggett on third down. We'll also see a lot of Rodney Hampton. And there are the guys up front. Carson in motion from the 30. A little toss to Otis Anderson, and he goes nowhere. Michael Carter, the nose tackle, makes the stop along with Keith DeLong, who's really coming on at an inside linebacker spot. The Niners, basic 3-4, Holt, Carter, and Fagan up front. We'll see a lot of Jim Byrd in the middle. Haley is their Lawrence Taylor imitator with Millen, DeLong, and Romanowski. And the secondary, Pollard and Griffin have been nicked. Waymer is the longtime former Saint, and of course Ronnie Lott on his way to Canton someday. Double tight end set for the Giants, who sent Cross in motion on 2nd and 12. And Simms throws incomplete. Ingram looks for the flag, and there is none. The coverage by Darryl Pollard. Third and long.
Perfectly timed out by Darryl Pollard, who also has been a little nicked for these 49ers. They were concerned about him during the course of the week. He makes a great play on Ingram. Ingram driving, making it look like the fly, gets first down yardage. Well, he was there.
Yeah, he
not only
timed
perfectly. He was just a little early.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly, all right.
And he dodges the flag, and it's a good play by Pollard.
The 49ers get away with one early.
Out of the gun on 3rd and 12. The Giants have to get to the 41 to keep the drive going, and that's just where Manuel makes the catch. He caught it inbounds and picked up exactly what he needed. Pollard covering.
Well, Manuel is the best possession receiver the Giants have. He makes the good moves. There was a blitz on. That meant man-for-man coverage for Manuel. He takes it down for first down yardage, and Pollard, knowing he was all alone, had to give enough ground that Manuel could break it to the sideline. The marker's there, and a perfectly executed pass. But more importantly, the Giants picked up the 49er blitz and gave Simms time to get rid of it.
First down of the game, no score, 2.5 minutes into it. 1st and 10 from the 41. Hampton is in the game, and that's the rookie out of Georgia who breaks the initial tackle. He got away from Matt Millen momentarily, and then Fagan is in on the stop. We've seen this act before in a couple of different uniforms. Matt Millen, the former Raider.
Only plays this game one way. One of the most excitable players in the league, and his forte, playing the run and jawing afterwards. Here he goes with Eric Moore, but watch the pat on the head. Look at that. That is the way you ought to play the game, Matt. Right on.
2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line. Hampton and Carson are the running backs, and the handoff is to Hampton, who threads his way for a first down to the 49er 47. Dave Waymer makes the tackle.
Rodney Hampton came into tonight's game averaging a little over 3.8 yards per carry, but over the last 4 games when he recovered from a sprained ankle, he's averaging just about 5 yards per carry. Very tricky the way he moves. He has 4.6 speed, but he is very shifty, very elusive. Look at the little stutter step, the little skip. And we saw him early, the #1 draft pick against Buffalo. The first time he carried the football, he went 90 yards for a touchdown in a preseason game.
Jim Burt, the former Giant, is in as the 49ers nose tackle, and it's Hampton finding room again. And close to a first down, he's tackled by Ronnie Lott. Rodney Hampton, who opted to come out of college after his junior season at the University of Georgia.
Boy, what an effort by Maurice Carthon there. Not only makes the lead block for Hampton, and then he comes downfield and cleans the guy off the pile. There's one of the real leaders of the Giants, Maurice Carthon. Rodney Hampton inside, You see Holt missing the tackle. And watch Carson come right in there late and pick somebody off.
On second and short, it's Anderson picking up the first down over the left side as O.J. takes it to the 34-yard line. Anderson, who came up as a rookie with Dan Deerdorf's Cardinals in 1979, nearing the 10,000-yard mark. 53 away right now.
He got almost 200 of it that very first day against the Dallas Cowboys. 195 against the Cowboys that day. One of the great talents that's ever carried the football in the National Football League. Otis Anderson, it just gets better as he gets older. It doesn't happen very often, especially to a running back.
How important he's been over the past couple of years to these Giants.
Picked them up in '86 in the trade. Here's Hampton, and he gets stopped by Jim Burt, who sees a lot of action because Michael Carter's foot bothers him from time to time. And Burt gets dinged on that play, and out he comes.
Whoa.
Yeah, out, I think he already is.
He thinks he's at the Meadowlands again. Oh, he caught one.
Jim Burt, you see the grass and everything stuck in his face mask. He is not home. Anyone that would like to be a nose tackle, applications are being accepted at any team in the National Football League. And if you go looking for that job, you're out on your feet.
I'd like to see the job specs on that.
Second and 8 from the 33-yard line. Here's Hampton cutting it back the other way. Taking it to the 29-yard line. Matt Millen is in on the stop, and that will set up a 3rd and about 5 with 8:55 to go. No score. First quarter in San Francisco.
Giants will bring in 3 wide receivers, and more importantly, they bring in their leading receiver, Dave Meggett. He'll work out of the backfield. He'll work out of a slot. He's number 30. He's 5'7", 180-pounder, but very effective once he catches the football.
3rd and 5 from the 29. That's Ingram in motion. Sims from the gun. He gives it to Meggett, and Meggett can't get outside. Charles Haley stops him at the 34-yard line.
Well, Haley got so far upfield that the kick out was really the block. Haley should have been kicked to the outside and Meggett take it back to the inside. A real bad read that time, Frank, by Dave Meggett, taking it to the outside, and it knocks them out of field goal range.
Exactly. He should have brought it back inside, but Charles Haley, one of the great players in this league. Underrated, but he's not underrated by the players that go up against him. Just keep your eye on 94 tonight and see how much he's involved. The leader for the 49ers in sacks, and he just made a great play against the run.
Sean Landeta is going to take the clock down. The Giants would like to take the 5-yard penalty here to give Landeta more room with which to work. What happens is you'll have a delay of game, but the 49ers will probably decline it.
Of course, we'll be watching Renee Thompson of the Giants. He's had a phenomenal year covering on kicks.
You know, another thing I think that's involved here is that I think the Giants are willing to run as much time off the clock at any time that the opportunity presents itself. They want to keep the football as long as they can and keep number 16, number 80, and number 33 in the red over on the sideline.
Well, the Niners here, interestingly, did what the Giants wanted them to do. They accepted the penalty to give Landeta more room with which to work. He angles it. It's fielded at the 10 and fair caught by Don Griffin. So the 49ers begin their second drive deep in their own territory. No score, 7:16 to play, first quarter.
The new Philly Shave. Improved shaving performance. Wider slots lift and cut for our best shaving performance ever. With personal minutes left indicator. The new Philly Shave. The pursuit of excellence.
You should worry about blood on your toothbrush because bleeding gums can be a sign of gum disease. Teeth may become loose, and in serious cases, a healthy tooth could fall out. Crest has a more effective answer. Gum Health Crest. A toothpaste which contains Genvit, an antibacterial agent that helps fight the bacteria that cause gum disease. Brush regularly for healthy gums and strong teeth. Gum Health Crest. Help your dentist to fight gum disease.
Chat today the fun yak to yak way. Call 0898 22 6622 now.
Drambuie is arguably the world's most delicious liqueur. But it does have one rival. The fact is, you can enjoy Drambuie all over the world, except in Tibet, where the locals just can't resist the seductive charms of fermented yak's milk. That's not a yak.
Drambuie. Today the world, tomorrow Tibet.
Will be at the Silverdome in Pontiac. The Lions, who took Chicago into overtime yesterday, hosting Bo and the boys as the Raiders come to town on top with Kansas City in the AFC West.
Halftime, we'll be announcing the Silver Anniversary Super Bowl team. That's going to be very interesting. That's halftime of next week's Raiders-Detroit Lions game.
I guess I didn't make that one, huh?
We don't know yet. From the 11, here's Roger Craig looking for room to the outside, and he can't turn it as Gary Reasons and Myron Guyton come up to stop him for a loss of 2. 49ers have not had a running game all season long, but still they have won without it. In fact, this year they became the first team in the history of the league to win 5 straight games without rushing for 100 yards or more in any of them.
They've also had to come from behind on 6 different occasions to win. So at times that they have been winning in a desperate fashion. The clock ran out last week.
2nd and 11. And the pass to Jamie Williams, who was in motion. He takes it out to the 18 where Myron Guyton makes the tackle. You know, one thing, Dan, we ought to focus in on early is Lawrence Taylor publicly talking about his role last week in the defense as we look at the play again and how they've been moving him around.
Well, he was upset that through the course of the season so far that he's been a stationary target over there on the right side of the defense, the offensive left side. And interesting, he complained about it publicly. He went to the coaching staff, and now so far this game, he's been moving around a great deal. Here he is now all the way at the bottom of the formation. Lawrence Taylor moving around a great deal here early.
3rd and 3, 6 minutes to go in a scoreless first quarter. Montana protected well. Open is John Taylor. He gets chased out of bounds by Perry Williams after he picks up the 49ers' initial first down of the game at the 30.
And this is the rhythm that you don't like to see this man get into. A quick drop, usually 3 steps, maybe 4 steps, and just a quick delivery. We've seen it now to Jamie Williams. Now he comes to John Taylor. They throw it underneath, and they are all good runners after they catch the football, and they just play to break that tackle and get the big gainer. You hit them often enough, they're going to do it.
49ers keeping a cautious eye on Taylor, who's been bothered with a knee problem and didn't play that much last week against the Rams. Through the middle, and nothing opening in the middle of the line. Roger Craig stopped after a pickup of 1. 49ers averaging coming into the game a very measly 3.3 yards per rushing attempt. Down near the bottom of the league average is an even 4.
And if you're going to run the football, you can at all, you're going to run it against this kind of a defense. Banks, of course, activated tonight with the dislocated wrist, but the Giants stay in the nickel with the 5 defensive backs, and the 49ers should be able to run if they're going to run it all.
Banks, by the way, has not been in the game yet, and it goes right through the hands of Roger Craig. It was right there. Williams was right there as well, and it will be 3rd down and 9.
When the short passing game is your running game, those are the types of mistakes that the 49ers cannot afford to have in a game like this. It's some of the problems they had last week. That, in essence, was a handoff from Joe Montana to Roger Craig, and it was a handoff that Craig fumbled. The short passing game is the running game for the 49ers. Bill Belichick sends in his call.
3rd and 9. It's Mike Wilson in motion. Montana under some pressure. Rolling and looking, and nobody is there, and just throws it away. Everybody was covered. Leonard Marshall was the man chasing Montana, and so for the 2nd time in the scoreless opening quarter, San Francisco will punt.
I have seen that exact play during the course of this season called intentional grounding. I mean, there was no 49er anywhere near where Joe Montana threw the football. And again, the rule states if you throw the football away to evade a sack, if your intent is to evade a sack, that's intentional grounding. There wasn't anyone near that.
I wonder if it's maybe difficult to call that on a legend.
Fourth down. This time the snap from Wesley Walls is much better than the first one, and it's a good kick by Helton. Meggett fields at the 21. And a man who is averaging 12.5 yards per run back brings it back 12 yards to the 33-yard line. The Giants and 49ers scoreless. 4:28 to go, first quarter.
Well, at the beginning of the program, we didn't want you to miss any of the action, so we quickly went over to the kickoff. I was asking Harry about the LT factor. Been a little quieter this year. Can he come back to be his dominant self?
I think he can. He's that kind of player. I think a lot has been made about Carl Banks being out and Lawrence playing a down lineman kind of role. He wants to play what he's doing now, move around. That's the kind of player that LT is.
While we were watching the game, you said there's an important fact going on at this moment, and that was that first drive.
It was the first drive. It's awfully important that the Giants stop the 49ers on the first series, because traditionally, whenever the Giants play the 49ers, they usually take the ball, go right down the field, and score. And it's very important, not just the first series, but now they've stopped them in the second series. So it might be a preview of things to come.
As I'm watching you sitting here watching the game, you're into it. I mean, it's like you're on the field.
Well,
you're on the sideline.
Those are my guys there. I mean, I know what defense is being called. I know what it's like to be down on that field and play against the 49ers.
So how's it gone so far?
Well, defensively, they're playing quite well on both sides of the ball. They're really shutting down the running attack. The Giants got a little bit of success running the ball with Rodney Hampton, but it's if you notice the way that things are going now, Montana is resorting to short passes. Now, the Giants have shut down the 49ers rushing attack with the short passes. Pretty soon, he's going to go to play action, bomb to Jerry Rice. And maybe in the next series.
And Sims has looked sharp, which is a lot of people wondering after last week's game if he could come back. Now let's go back to Candlestick Park. Our match commentators are Frank Gifford, Al Michaels and Dan Deardorff, and you see a beautiful shot of downtown San Francisco.
That's the Transamerica Tower, otherwise known as the Pyramid, gracing the San Francisco skyline for the last 20 years on a sparkling night in the Bay Area. Candlestick Park, no score, 4:28 to go, first quarter. First down, Giants from the 32. O.J. Anderson picks up a hard yard. Dave Waymer comes up to make the tackle. George Seifert talking about Waymer yesterday, and much like O.J. Anderson, a veteran who comes late in his career to a team and provides a special kind of spark.
Interesting that the 49ers were looking for an older defensive back, and the two guys they really took a long, hard look at were Dave Waymer and Everson Walls. Everson Walls, who found a home with the Giants and playing extremely well with 5 interceptions, but they wanted Waymer because of his versatility and his ability to play safety.
And here he is starting with Chet Brooks hurt. 2nd and 9, and it's Cross making the catch, hit by Lott among others, and close to a first down. Lott and DeLong converging on the hit. And he appears to be a little short of the first down. But Dale Hamer will measure.
Cross, of course, not your prime receiver for the Giants, but he was getting coverage by a linebacker, number 59, Keith DeLong. So Sims reads that rather quickly and gets the completion very close to the first down. Looks like he's a little bit short.
Yep. Only the 5th pass that Cross has caught this season. Giants, of course, love to throw to. As you can see, it is, well, a little closer than we thought. And in fact, it is a first down. First down for the Giants.
Cross reading that rather well.
Yep. Giants throw to their tight ends a lot and their running backs. In fact, the Giant wide receivers as a group, all of them together, have caught only 50 passes this season. On the other side of the coin, Jerry Rice alone has caught 73 for San Francisco.
The Giants running backs and tight ends have caught 119.
First down, 42-yard line. Here's Anderson, and he is tackled back at the 39-yard line. Matt Millen with the penetration.
Matt Millen's neck support was new in about 1963. A little ragged around the edges, and so is Matt, but this guy can still play. brought his show across the bay here to the 49ers and fills a role much like Hacksaw Reynolds filled for the 49ers under then coach Bill Walsh, and this man is defensive coordinator. He likes that stout linebacker to run a defense in the running situation.
On 2nd and 12, they have Megan in the game. He's at the top of your screen, split to the right. 2:30 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Sims a short drop, nearly gets sacked, and then throws incomplete. Keith DeLong came in, nearly sacked him, and it was all Sims could do to get rid of the ball.
Well, when you're a back and you have to block a blitzing linebacker, the first thing you are taught is stay high.
And step up. Don't wait for him.
And don't try to cut him. Rodney Hampton there, number 27. Look how low he goes on DeLong. DeLong is able to hurdle him. And there is Phil Sims attempting to complete a pass to Doug Riesenberg.
He was the only one open.
So twice now we have seen these veteran quarterbacks get away with dumping the football.
Crowd still booing because they wanted a penalty. 3rd and 12. 49ers rush 5, and then it's dropped by Ingram, who wouldn't have gone much further anyway. Johnny Jackson was there covering, and Landeta will be forced to kick for the 2nd time. Kind of like the beginning of a great heavyweight fight in a way. No score, each team punting twice.
Nobody bleeding yet, and yet you kind of get the feeling that there's a big play or a mistake looming out there somewhere.
Landeta's kick taken at the 20. This is Taylor, chased by Reasons.
Look out!
And John Taylor has Landeta to beat and can't beat him. Landeta makes the tackle at the 47.
That's a great play by Landeta. He didn't get himself to the sidelines where Taylor could have brought it back. Taylor thought about bringing it back to the medal. He ran head on to Sean Landeta. Take a look at it one more time. This sets up beautifully. The wall is there, and watch Landeta come into the shot. He does not let him cut back.
Frank, John Taylor won't live that one down all week. You don't get tackled by the punter.
Yours, all right.
Down at Pizza Hut, you can now get one of our exclusive medium feast pizzas for 2 for just $6.79. Choose either our meat feast pizza with 4 different kinds of meat, or our cheese feast pizza with our special blend of 3 cheeses piled high with any 2 toppings of your choice.
Here you are.
Whichever one you choose, it's good to know that the only thing we've reduced is the bill. Great feast pizzas for $6.79. At Pizza Hut, you've got it made.
Karaoke party! What's karaoke? We give you superb backing music. You sing the songs like this. And this. You and your friends will have fun you wouldn't believe singing along to Karaoke Party. It's the sing-along sensation of the 90s. Imagine you're Elvis, the Beatles, or even Roy Orbison. 40 of the most popular karaoke tracks with full lyrics. Be a star with Karaoke Party. It's fun, it's wild. It's in your record shops now.
Welcome back, everybody. Line drive kick there by Landeta, set up a John Taylor return. They're now at the 50-yard line or thereabouts. Is there any significance behind the field position now the 49ers have?
Well, first off, I want to say that I was impressed that Sean Landeta made the tackle, because you kickers aren't known for making tackles, but, you know, now that they're at midfield, it gives the 49ers an opportunity to open up their offensive arsenal and look for them to go down the field right about now in the next series of plays. Probably a bomb to Jerry Rice from Montana.
All right, well, we're going to see just how right Harry is. We're now going back to Candlestick Park. It's a beautiful night in San Francisco.
Saturday here on ABC. 49ers at the 47-yard line, 1st and 10. And Roger Craig picks up about 2 to the 49. 2 minutes to go, first quarter, no score.
Go back a moment ago to one of Landeta's great plays. It was Landeta himself who set this up. He kicked that ball very poorly, kicked it low, and it gave Taylor the opportunity to get behind the picket line, but Landeta made up for it to some degree in that he refused to let Taylor make the cut back to the inside. Had he been able to do so, he might have gone all the way. And Sean knows that he did not kick that well.
2nd and 8 from the 49er 49. Montana rolling to buy time and now decides to run, and out of bounds he goes at the 45-yard line, about 3 yards shy of the first down. He was chased by Lawrence Taylor.
He'll do that to you. We talked about the 49ers running game being weak this year. It's Montana who has the longest run from scrimmage, if you can believe that.
It's the only run from scrimmage this year more than 20 yards by a 49er. They're the only team in the league that does not have a 20-yard run from a running back. 3rd and 2. It's a long 2. Craig in motion. And Montana throws too high, intended for Taylor. Covered on the play by Myron Guyton. And in comes Helton for the 3rd time in the quarter. So this will be the 5th punt of the game with 57 seconds to play in the first quarter.
And that was another blown opportunity by the 49ers, because it was a blown coverage by the New York Giants, releasing John Taylor down the sideline. He is wide open, and Joe doesn't get him the ball. I mean, John Taylor does not have a giant defender about 3 yards away. You see Guyton gets over there, but way late. A poor pass by Joe.
Dave Meggett stands back at his own 10-yard line. Barry Helton to punt. Wesley Walls to snap it. Fair catch is called for, and Meggett makes it at the 10-yard line. And the Giants begin their drive from the 10. 50 seconds to play. First quarter at Candlestick.
The wind was blowing hard at Chicago's Soldier Field come game time between the Lions and the Bears, but it didn't seem to affect Rodney Peete. Just back from injury, the Detroit quarterback moved his team through the air early and scored the first touchdown himself on a 1-yard quarterback sneak. Then Chicago showed why they're the only team in the league with more yards rushing than passing. Grab Muster running up the middle, to the right, and finally to the left for a 7-yard score. Later in the second quarter, with the ball on the 1, the fridge was installed in the offense, but just as a decoy. Like Pete, Jim Harbaugh took it in himself, fumbling as he went. Any Blades recovered for the Lions. The officials ruled it a touchdown. 14-10 down in the second half, Detroit pulled Pete and sent on Bob Galliano. To good effect. He hit Robert Clark in the end zone, and Detroit were 3 points ahead. With time running out and the wind making field goals risky, Jim Harbaugh drove into chip shot territory for Kevin Butler, and the Bears were heading into overtime for the second time in 3 weeks. After winning the toss, Detroit went to the run of their run-and-shoot Barry Sanders. He took them to within field goal range, but Eddie Murray missed it in the wind, and it was Chicago's ball. Perhaps wary of kicking a field goal, the Bears gambled on a touchdown and got it on this 50-yard pass from Harbaugh to Neil Anderson. It was enough to win the game and, with results elsewhere, the NFC Central title.
So a great effort by the Detroit Lions, a beautiful shot there of downtown San Francisco. Let's get back to Candlestick now, though.
John Creighton at the controls of the Goodyear Blimp Columbia. What a shot. San Francisco all lit up for the holiday season. The Embarcadero area, the Ferry Building, lower left, beautiful. Columbia providing the pictures on a beautiful night in the Bay Area. Temperature in the low 50s. Giants begin at the 10. 1st and 10. No score, late first quarter. And there's movement. Anderson, as the play is whistled dead before its inception, you saw Howard Cross moving before the snap.
We saw something else before the snap, too, didn't we, Dan?
Yeah, the 49ers playing some mind games with the Giants. They send out a wave of defensive personnel, let the Giants look at them in the huddle, and then when the Giants got ready to break their huddle, all of a sudden it was a 4-man substitution by the 49ers.
Ball start. Number 87 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And that could have been what pulled Howard Cross into the false start. Seeing a defensive set that he did not feel he was going to see on the play, that was called because of what the Giant coaches had seen.
Giants thus far, we mentioned last week, a 3-to-1 ratio.
Clock at 50 seconds. 50 seconds.
3-1 last week passing against running, and a lot of that had nothing to do with the score and playing catch-up. That was by design. Now it's back the way the Giants normally play, 10-5 running. And there is the ratio. First 10 games, heavily weighted toward the run. Last week, totally the other way. Tonight, back to the basics, at least at the outset. 1st and 15 from the 5. 50 seconds to go in the quarter. Anderson fights his way out to the 9-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 11. Keith DeLong, who won a starting job when Michael Walter was hurt and is probably lost for the year, has really developed at that inside linebacker spot for San Francisco. 2nd year out of Tennessee, hurt last year. A lot of last year came along slowly, but really developing.
Michael Walter is eligible to come off of injured reserve for the 49ers, and in talking to George Seifert yesterday, he's not sure when he's going to have his talented middle linebacker back. A neck problem is still bothering Walter, and hopefully he'll be back before the end of the year, but those things are really touchy.
As they say in the vernacular of boxing, kind of a feeling out process in the first quarter. 5 punts, 2 zeros on the scoreboard, and we'll return with Monday Night Football after this commercial message and a word from our ABC station.
I used to wake each morning, really go to town. Here and there, different smells, I really shopped around. Now I use Insignia, shampoo to shower gel, deodorant and aftershave with one all over smell. Now there's Insignia, and it's all over now.
Here, get this. Just 1 drop of fairy, gets rid of grease. This fast. That's faster than me out of the kitchen.
The new Filler Shave. Improved shaving performance. Wider slots lift and cut for our best shaving performance ever. With personal minutes left indicator. The new Filler Shave. The pursuit of excellence.
Welcome back, everybody. So after the first quarter, no score. Harry, is that a good sign for the Giants?
I kind of expected that because it was going to be a defensive struggle. Both teams did not play very well last week on defense. They gave up a lot of points. They wanted to come in and establish some defense tonight.
What do you see the Giants doing now as we go back, quickly as we go back?
Ball control football.
All right.
Well, the game of the year, at least in the regular season, finally here. It doesn't get a lot easier, though, next week. The 49ers have to go to Cincinnati, and the Giants go home against suddenly very potent Minnesota.
Indeed. Minnesota is the team we thought they'd be at the very beginning.
It's funny how we watch these two duke it out here, though. And, you know, the Chicago Bears, we keep talking about the 2 best teams in football here playing. I'm not so sure.
Well, that's going to lead us to an interesting point in a moment, because it's 2nd down and 11 from the 9-yard line as Sims retreats and then throws a duck that is incomplete and may have been tipped, intended for Ingram. Charles Haley provided the pressure that time.
Right in Sims' face. He could not even see the receiver. Haley with another big play.
3rd down and 11. Dan started to talk about the Bears. No matter what happens tonight, the winner of this game will have the best record in the conference, 11-1. The loser will be 10-2. So will the Bears. But if the season stopped after tonight's game, the Bears would have the tiebreaker in their favor, and they would have that week off in the first week of January. The loser of tonight's game would have to play an extra playoff game. On 3rd and 11, Sims throws incomplete, and the Giants will be forced to kick from deep in their own territory. Greg Cox put the blitzing pressure on that time.
Phil Sims doing what he has done so well this year. He just overthrew that ball, got rid of it, didn't take the sack, didn't get the interception. Sean Landeta, the best punter in the league, comes out.
Landeta's first kick, more of a pooch punt. Taylor is back at the 50-yard line. This is the 6th punt of the game, and it's a liner caught by Taylor at the 46 and brought back to the 39. So the 49ers clearly have their best field position of the night. 14:42 left in the scoreless first half.
Well, Harry, after a good start by Sims, he looks a little flustered right now, overthrowing people, not really getting things going on offense.
I think that has something to do with the pass coverage of the San Francisco 49ers. I really don't think that it's all on Phil Simms. I think he's throwing the ball away some of the time.
What do you think now has got to happen for the Giants? I think they're letting it slip. They seemed on top early on in the first quarter. They're letting it slip now. If you give the 49ers an opening, they normally can take advantage of it, can't they?
Well, they're going to have to, Sims will have to connect on some of his passes and get into 49er territory in order for him to be able to do the things that they really want to do besides just run the football. He is very effective passing the ball. Stephen Baker has yet to get his hands on the ball. I think this is really going to come out to be a game of big plays. Defensively, they're playing well on both sides of the ball, but I think Sims is going to hit Baker and he's going to elude a tackle and run for a touchdown, or Jerry Rice is going to get a reception, elude the tackler and go for a touchdown. So it's going to be a game of big plays.
All right, I'm going to give you a chance of a reprieve. Last time you went down and you said that Montana was going to throw to Rice quick down the field.
Well, he went to Taylor.
He's now got similar position, actually a little bit better.
Yeah.
What do you see the offense of the 49ers doing?
I still see him doing the same thing, passing the ball and trying to go to Jerry Rice. He is their primary weapon. He has to utilize that opportunity right now.
All right, and is LT going to come in on this drive? This is LT's drive, isn't it?
I don't know. I just have this feeling that the 49ers will be able to score in this series of downs.
All right, well,
I'm going out on a limb now.
Personally, I hope not. Now let's go back to Candlestick Park and let's watch LT and see if he can get it done.
Is just a light. No score, 14:42 to play, first half. And here are the 49ers starting in opponent's territory. 59% of the time this season, they have scored a touchdown in like circumstances. Best in the league, and they begin this drive with a little pass to Rathman off his fingers. 2nd and 10.
Interesting how far we've gone in this game without mentioning Jerry Rice, who has on several occasions been locked up the single coverage on Mark Collins. He is the best of the defensive backs of the Giants in man-for-man coverage, but you got to feel that sooner or later Montana is going to go to Rice, particularly if he continues to read that single coverage.
Rice split to the right. Montana to this point is a very pedestrian 3 for 8 for 27 yards and has missed his last 4 in a row. And make it 5 now as the play is broken up by Perry Williams getting a hand in on a pass intended for the slanting John Taylor. 3rd down.
Perry Williams is living very dangerously. He has made 2 sensational plays in getting his hand on the ball, but to do so, he has to move in front, and if he miscalculates and doesn't get a hand on the ball, he is in no position to make a play after the receiver would catch it. So give Perry Williams all the credit in the world, but that's a risky move. You don't get the ball, your guy's in the end zone.
3rd and 10 from the 38. Mike Wilson goes in motion. Blitz. He gets it off. It's caught by Harry Sidney inside the 30-yard line. First down to the 26. Mark Collins makes the stop on the 31-year-old veteran who's playing very well in a spot role for the 49ers lately.
Well, he just made a great play out of that. That was a broken screen. The Giants covered the screen. They were right into it, and he took it back across the middle. Ordinarily, he would have been nailed. He saw the opening. See the screen set up to the outside? He reads it, takes it back against the grain, and gets the first down. Just chalk that up to 1 for Harry Sidney. Good play.
1st and 10. 49ers at the 27. No score. Early 2nd quarter. Craig still can't get anything going. Marshall and Guyton are right there to double team him. It's a funny thing about Craig. Remember last year they started talking about, well, is he getting a little old? Is he a little worn down? And then he sort of came on at the end. This year, is it Craig? Is it the injury? Is it the offensive line? What is it?
Well, in that particular play right there, I'll address it. Let me tell you something. Jim Brown wouldn't have gained any more yardage than Roger Craig did right there. I mean, that was poorly blocked at the point of attack. Roger Craig took the handoff and is facing 3 New York Giants, nowhere to go.
But generally speaking, you don't know. Second and long. Here's Craig making the catch and taking it to the 10-yard line for a first down. And a flag is down at the end of the play.
And
Pepper Johnson makes the stop.
And the Giants sure seem to think that this play is coming back.
They think correctly.
Yep.
Johnson having an excellent year. The Giants' leading tackler, inside linebacker.
Holding. Number 44 of the offense. Repeat second down.
Fullback Tom Rathman.
Tom Rathman, one of the surest handlers. There he is right here. He's working on Gary Reasons. Let's go ahead and see if we can find the hold. Well, yeah, he's wrapped him up pretty good, even though he didn't drag him to the ground, but he had that left arm encircled around the waist of Gary Reasons, and that brings out the flag.
Total yards, like the score, dead even. 0-0. 12:41 to play. First half. 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line. Oh, Montana throws it away again. He was pressured and got away from the initial pressure from Lawrence Taylor, but still had nobody open.
Yeah, when Joe Montana first came in this league, remember what the first thing everybody talked about him? It was his tremendous mobility. And here, even into his 30s, that really hasn't changed much. Nice little fake on Lawrence Taylor, who buys the toss. And then a circle back to his right by Joe Montana, who blatantly threw the ball away.
Once again, but you saw a quick look at Harry Sidney. That was a screen to the left side. And Harry Sidney, number 24, got lost in the Giants' defense. Montana couldn't find him, and again, Montana saved the loss.
3rd and 9 at the 26-yard line. Montana fires, and it's knocked down at the 15-yard line by Greg Jackson, who nearly picked it off. Intended for Rice.
I believe that's the first pass we've even seen intended for Jerry Rice. It's just a quick slant, the kind of pass you like to complete, and then let Rice do what he does the very best, and that is run with the football, and Jackson just about picked it off. So far, the Giants' nickel very effective.
So now Mike Kofer comes in to attempt a field goal. It'll be spotted at the 33. It's a 43-yard kick. Barry Helton to hold. No good. Kofer wide to the left. 49ers come up short on a drive that begins in Giant territory.
And the Giants will get good field position out over their own 25.
For as good as this was supposed to be, it's kind of sloppy.
Two old AFC West rivals met face-to-face match at the Mile High Stadium on Sunday. The Raiders, trying to keep pace with the Chiefs at the top of the division, went behind by a field goal to Denver in the first quarter before Jay Schrader brought them back on a long drive and Steve Smith finished it off. John Elway responded with a 12-play, 96-yard drive and finished that off with a 21-yarder to Vance Johnson, and Denver led 10-7 at half-time. A bad omen because they've lost every game they led at half-time this season. But in the third quarter, they seemed intent on keeping that record intact. First Dennis Smith with the dropped interception chance, then John Elway throwing one himself to Randall McDaniel. That set up Bo Jackson, who just managed to keep his balance to get in from 11 yards out. David Treadwell hit another field goal for Denver, but in the fourth quarter it was Jackson again, demonstrating the shortest route between 2 points to a couple of Denver defensive backs. Jeff Jager missed the extra point but hit a field goal of his own, and the Raiders were 10 up with 5 to go. Elway, showing some of his old heroics, made it a 3-point game on this pass to Michael Young, and with less than a minute to go, Vance Johnson kept the drive for a tying field goal alive with this great sideline catch. But with the clock running out, Scott Davis got a hand to David Treadwell's kick, and the Broncos' fall from first place in the AFC continues. Final score, Raiders 23, Broncos 20.
back in San Francisco. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf. No score. 12:21 to go in the half. The Giants start this drive at their own 26. Sims to throw on first down. Looks initially to set up the screen and then throws it away outside. Howard Cross was closest. Second down.
That was so poorly blocked up front and such a giveaway that it was a screen. Every member of the 49er defensive line read it as a screen and rolled right out into it. Phil Simms had absolutely no choice but to throw that ball away. I mean, you have to make it look like a pass up front. That was such an easy giveaway by the Giants on the offensive line that the 49ers read that thing all over.
Phil wants to play a little more quickly. Either that or he wants it a little better defined. That's a signal to the sidelines.
2nd and 10. Double tight end set. Toss to Anderson. Cuts it back. Pulls his way out to the 34-yard line. Fagan and Lott converge on the tackle. It's going to be 3rd and about 3.
There is no hesitation on the part of Otis Anderson at the age of 33 to break that thing back across the middle. That's where he picks up so much of his yardage, and you just know you're going to get hammered. And this is what he did not do, I think you'll agree, Dan, when he came to the Giants from St. Louis.
One of the things you really have to give Otis Anderson a great deal of credit is how he has changed, how he has modified his style of running the football to please Bill Parcells. That's why he's still playing for the Giants.
3rd and 3. Sims sidearms one incomplete up at the 42-yard line, intended for Troy Kiles, the rookie out of Howard. He was covered by Dave Waymer, and we'll see Landetta's 4th punt of the game. Fagan that time put the pressure on Sims.
That was great coverage on the part of Waymer, and he has meant so much to these 49ers. We'll look at it again. Number 43, the former New Orleans Saint, who played so many years at cornerback. They tried him at safety down there and then didn't protect him, and the 49ers have found a great player just when they needed one.
Sean Landeta, bad liner, caught at the 28 by Taylor. And he runs parallel to the 30 and steps out at the 29-yard line.
We have seen 3 of the worst kicks by Landeta, who led the league coming into tonight, that I think I've ever seen. And he's shaking his head. Parcells is right on his tail, too. We'd like to talk this over a little bit.
Sean said, well, at least it went that way.
We also have a flag, and I believe a clip on Harry Sidney may be forthcoming, which is going to pin the 49ers further back. Dale Hamer, referee.
Illegal block. Number 24 on the return. First down. Timeout.
Sidney shakes his head. Take a look at this one.
There's Harry Sidney to the right. You see him coming up. That's Renee Thompson. Well, he hits him from behind. I mean, it was hardly a vicious block. That's where you have to go way out of your way not to even touch the guy.
The Eagles' trip to Buffalo promised a battle between the 2 hottest quarterbacks in the NFL. Jim Kelly, with a 63-yard touchdown pass to James Lofton on the game's 2nd play, didn't disappoint. It was his 100th career touchdown pass. His 101st came soon after, this time to Andre Reed, a 56-yard hookup, and the Bills were 17 up before Randall Cunningham had even thrown a pass. Then Kelly hit Thurman Thomas for his 3rd touchdown of the day to complete an unbelievable first quarter for the Bills, 248 yards offense against the Eagles' 33. Almost more unbelievable, though, was the way the Eagles came back into the game, and in particular the performance of Randall Cunningham. This 51-yard run set up a pass to Keith Jackson to get the Eagles on the scoreboard. Then the play of the day, and perhaps the season. Cunningham's 95-yard connection with rookie Fred Barnett is the longest in the NFL this season. Cunningham, with 3 touchdown passes on the day, this one to Keith Byers, matched Kelly's feat of 100 so far in his career. Down by just 1 point, the Eagles threw everything at the Bills. 2 Scott Norwood field goals were enough to stretch Buffalo's winning margin to 30-23. Buffalo are now 21-2 at Rich Stadium during the last 3.
Well, towards the end of that game, Scott Norwood also missed a field goal. We saw Eddie Murray earlier miss a field goal in the highlights, and David Treadwell. And tonight, Koper's missed a field goal, And Landeta for the Giants having a lot of problems. So the kickers are struggling. Maybe I'll get a phone call later on, Harry. Let's go back to Candlestick Park now.
First down, San Francisco from the 19-yard line, and Montana has to improvise and picks up 2, takes it to the 21. John Washington makes the tackle. After Landeta's last kick, let's go back on tape.
We talked about Bill Parcells. He doesn't mince any words with his players. They like him for that, too. He chews on them, lets them know exactly where he stands. We saw him go at Phil Simms in the Indianapolis game a few weeks ago, and people were all upset about it, but he lets them know exactly how he feels. And